Here's your wrestling news for July 27th, 2022, and we're kicking off today with Triple H, who is finally in charge of WWE's main roster after years of proving himself as head of NXT. It was when the game was in charge that NXT reached its peak in popularity, though many of the stars he pushed were cut under Vince McMahon's rule. In a report on Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp noted that while many have been cut from WWE in recent years, there's a feeling that some could return thanks to the change of management. One former NXT talent that had options within WWE before signing elsewhere said that they felt an incredible sense of loyalty to Triple H, and had he been the person managing their creative future, things could have been much different. That talent and another talent that ended up in AEW said that they had no confidence in being creatively satisfied on the WWE main roster. One said, "I'm glad that I went to AEW, but if I was graduating to a Triple H-led SmackDown or Raw, I probably would have re-signed with WWE before my deal was up." Another top free agent that has several options that we spoke to said that both Triple H and Stephanie McMahon being in their positions greatly increases the possibility of them eventually heading back to the company. We've heard from other free agents that were hopeful their previous relationships with Triple H led to them at least having conversations, but didn't expect that to happen imminently. Many released WWE superstars have gone to AEW, earning Tony Khan's promotion the joke nickname of All Ex-WWE, but if Triple H and Stephanie do well in their respective new roles, then we may be seeing some ex-superstars give WWE one more chance. With Vince McMahon gone, the dynamic of WWE behind the scenes has changed, and many more changes are expected to come. It's been reported that Kevin Dunn, a longtime McMahon loyalist, isn't expected to be with WWE this time next year, and that John Laurinaitis is also expected to lose his job. Speaking on the latest PW Torch audio show, Wade Keller discussed the changes yet to be made and who could benefit backstage. Keller noted that with Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H leading the way, this could open the door for Paul Heyman to have a role behind the scenes. It was pointed out that, despite the animosity between them 20 years ago, that Stephanie and Heyman are very close these days, and that he is connected to some of WWE's biggest names, including Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Ronda Rousey. Keller said how Heyman could become part of the new WWE management's inner circle, which would be a great idea given Paulie's knowledge of wrestling and creative. Heyman has previously served as the executive director of Raw, but that position was taken from him by Vince McMahon and given to Bruce Pritchard. But now the ECW magnate could finally find himself in an important role behind the scenes again. We've got some news from Summerslam now, as Saturday's premium live event will be the first premium live event since Triple H took charge of WWE Creative. 20 years after facing Shawn Michaels and a decade after losing to Brock Lesnar, the game now has a much different role at the biggest party of the summer and is looking to get off to a strong start. But according to a report by WrestleVotes, Triple H wants to make a creative splash at this Saturday's show, but only if it makes sense. The report said that Triple H won't just do something for the sake of doing it, with WrestleVotes calling the attitude a change of pace. While this week's Raw was written by Vince McMahon last week before he stepped down, WWE content will be the Triple H show moving forward, with this Saturday's show the first of what will be many premium live events for the King of Kings. SummerSlam will see Roman Reigns defend his undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a rare match from the head of the table. Since WrestleMania 38, Reigns has been making fewer appearances on WWE TV thanks to a new contract he signed earlier this year. Speaking on the Today Show, Reigns explained that he didn't just want an easier schedule, but has a very special reason for appearing less for WWE. When you have that many kids, you really have to have a schedule and just try to get everything in line, and you're just kind of treating it like a business because there's so many of them and you have to try to delegate and give them all as much attention as possible. So it's been great, you know? My schedule's shifted around a little bit, so I have a lot more time at home now, and I can feel that relationship strengthening, those bonds are getting better and better, so it's a very blessed situation. Reigns is the father of 5 children, with his daughter Joelle born in 2008, and sets of twins born in both 2016 and 2020. With his children still at a young age, Reigns doesn't want to miss out on seeing them grow up, as all his talk about the bloodline and the importance of his family isn't just for TV. One name who won't be wrestling at SummerSlam is Cody Rhodes, who is out with a torn pectoral suffered last month. While WWE told fans in June that Cody would be gone for 9 months, giving him a March 2023 return, many expect that the 3-time former AEW TNT champion will be back far sooner than that. The theory from fans and medical experts outside WWE is that Cody will be ready in time for the Royal Rumble, and that WWE is saying March to make his return in January a surprise. While speaking during the San Diego Comic-Con, Rhodes addressed the possibility of him returning during the Rumble match and didn't shoot down the idea. "My Royal Rumble stats are top 10. They're phenomenal. So if I was to come back at that event, there's a chance that I could actually get up in the top 5, and I'm all about that. You never know. We'll see." Rhodes certainly has impressive stats, including having the 9th longest cumulative time spent in Royal Rumble matches and had the most eliminations in 2012. No matter when he returns, expect Cody Rhodes to receive a monster push when he's back, which will likely be far sooner than what WWE is claiming. More from the McMahon scandal now, as now that he's retired, we're learning a lot more about the former owner of WWE. For years, it's been known that McMahon could be difficult to work with stories of scripts being ripped up and rewritten at the last minute becoming common over the last few years. When Sean Ross Sapp spoke to several WWE staffers about their experience with Vince McMahon, they explained how everything needed to be filtered due to McMahon's quirky and unprofessional habits. The report reads, "Fightful has learned from many within the creative process who said that many of the creative writer's assistants effectively needed to filter Vince themselves in ways. Specifically, we were told that the assistants often had to know what to not write for Vince McMahon when taking notes for him. We've also heard that the minutes are heavily edited. We're told this has largely been the case for a long time. It ranged from Vince saying things that would appear insensitive or offensive to, 'Oh God, what did he just say?' moments, all the way to simple kayfabe things as well. Some of the stories included McMahon constantly calling people the wrong names or using terms that weren't socially acceptable, and that even he himself would have never allowed on television." Another former production employee said, "If a live feed of Vince McMahon on a headset any given night ever made it out, that would provide a picture of that production experience, especially for the announcers. There were plenty of times he was in a good mood, but he would blow up at the most ridiculous things and act like they ruined an angle that was far past its expiration date anyway." Fortunately for those who had to deal with Vince's unprofessional behavior, he's no longer running the show, and there's a huge sense of optimism now that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are in charge behind the scenes. Triple H's tenure as new WWE head of creative began on this week's Raw, and hours prior to the show going on air, the game held a meeting backstage with the roster and the production team. According to Fightful Select, the meeting laid out the groundwork for Triple H's intentions with the main roster going forward. Triple H promised talent more transparency in the future, including open lines of communication. This has been an issue for WWE in recent years. Talent would sometimes have to wait for hours outside of Vince McMahon's office in order to talk with him. Triple H also told talent during the meeting that he wants work to be fun. According to Fightful's report, the meeting went smoothly and was well received. Talent is said to be feeling optimistic now that Triple H is in charge. If Triple H means what he said to WWE's talent tonight, then things could be looking up for the company. Hopefully, WWE's new regime is able to make it through this rough patch and find brighter days ahead. It was last Friday that McMahon announced his retirement, with his daughter Stephanie and Nick Khan now serving as CEOs, and the former owner is really distancing himself from the promotion. According to a recent SEC filing, McMahon has forfeited all unvested stock, which is stock promised to you but that you've not fully yet earned under the terms of your vesting schedule. McMahon had to forfeit this stock due to his WWE departure last Friday, but this doesn't include all the stock his family has in the company. It does not include the 100 shares of Class A common stock owned by Linda, Vince's wife, which the former WWE owner has disclaimed that he benefits from in any way. Vince McMahon is reported to have paid out $14.6 million to women in non-disclosure agreements over 16 years, which WWE have to edit its records to reflect these payments. McMahon's scandal isn't over, despite his decision to retire last week, but the former chairman is continuing to distance himself from the company he ran for decades. And we're ending today with AEW, who will host their annual All Out pay-per-view this September, once more from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, just outside Chicago. This show will no doubt be a stacked affair, as has been the standard for AEW pay-per-views, but fans will have to choose between Tony Khan's company or WWE. A leaked internal sheet from WWE has revealed that NXT 2.0 will be holding an event exclusively on Peacock and internationally on the WWE Network on Sunday, September 4th, the same day as AEW All Out. When Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics spoke about it, he said that All Out will start at 8 p.m. Eastern, but there's no confirmation on what time the NXT show will run. We'll have to see how this pans out, as NXT struggled to be competition to AEW in the Wednesday Night Wars, and scheduling a special event on the same day as All Out is a very bold decision indeed. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.